This is Jonathan Aggoff here for Pro Boxing Fans. I'm up here in Hartlepool today. Delighted to be joined by Neil Fannan, trainer of Lewis Ritson and of course Tommy Ward. How you doing, Neil?
Very good, thank you.
Appreciate you having me down. Obviously just caught up with the lads, Lewis and Tommy. Let's start with Lewis. We last saw him out in October against Robbie Davies Jr. How's he been since then? Taken some time out or straight back into it?
Straight back into it, really. You know, he's a full-time professional, so you've got to do something to keep your brain active. So we just do little bits of things, not quite connected to boxing, you know, just bits of strength and little tasks and things. So straight back at it.
As a trainer, what was your sort of assessment of his performance? I mean, it was a thrilling bout, one of the fights of the year, I think it's fair to say, but what was your assessment of Lewis's performance back then?
I thought he boxed very well, you know, just he's been lack of concentration in some fights, just drawn in and can't get out, you know, but I thought he concentrated for the full 12 rounds and, well, he surprised a lot of people because he outboxed Robbie Davies, who was the boxer. So we were well pleased with his performance.
And obviously April 4th is sort of the big secret that everyone knows about, but a big show again that Lewis will obviously be headlining. Yeah, talk me through what you know about that and yeah, another sort of step up for Lewis.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about it, you know, but we are looking forward to it a lot, you know, and hopefully he gets a good test on the day, which we've had a few names thrown at us, but obviously nothing confirmed till hopefully the end of the week or next week, and then all systems go. Absolutely.
And obviously Lewis has been out with Tommy Ward in Dubai and stuff. What was that experience like in Dubai?
Yeah, it was good. Nice beaches, sunbathing, nice drinks and nice food and that. Yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed it.
Just last one on Lewis, he's just come back in the gym. When do you sort of expect, a lot of talk about obviously a world title shot, when do you expect that to possibly happen?
Well, you know, I think if we tortured MTK, they could come up with something. They've mentioned bits of things, but it's just a long-term plan. It's challenging for a world title, and if I said, oh, he could challenge in his next fight or the fight after and give anybody a good fight. Be nice to get 2 or 3 fights under his belt and then me sit here and think to myself, if we can get him or him, we'll win. You know, just we want to win a world title. Just challenge for it, it's not enough for me. It's just the victory is what we dream about.
And just moving on to Tommy Ward quickly, obviously you mentioned out in Dubai, had 4 solid wins this year, American debut. Could it have gone any better? No,
you know, like, it's been a little bit frustrating with Tommy because from day one I've preached how good he is, but you know, we've worked with different people and I used to think to myself, why doesn't people see what I see? You know, am I looking at something wrong? And yet he doesn't lose rounds, never mind fights, you know, just everything you put in front of him, he just steps up, you know, and even as myself as a trainer, he's sparred all world champions and that, and now I want to see him tested myself, never mind, you know, like the public, you know, want to see what he's made of. I want to see him tested myself. He just, ever since he come to me at 17-year-old, 16-year-old, I've never seen him tested yet, so that's something for me to look forward to as well.
I mean, speaking to Tommy, obviously got that #1 with the WBO. Emmanuel Navarrete holds the title. He's got a fight coming up. Where do you sort of see the path to a world title? Is it looking like maybe the summer towards the end of the year?
Yeah, I think the summer. I think you know, like the season finishes at the end of July. There's usually not much boxing in August. Hopefully, we'll get before August time. We'll get a world title fight. If not, you know, as long as we get one this year, you know, like I'm not going to sit here and start and pick the dates and lucky numbers and things like that. Just any day will do, really, as long as it's this year.
What would it mean to you training for another world title fight?
Yeah, you know, for a few years now, I've never been in boxing for the little fights, but I know that's what, you know, they lead you to the big fights. But, you know, it's like boxing's a strange sport. It's like when the lads, Tommy fought in America, you know, you put yourself under test. It's like when Lewis fought Robbie Davis. I know you have to prove yourself. I had to prove myself again that I think I know what I'm on about, you know what I mean? Or if he'd never beat Robbie Davis, the thing, he sacked in the morning, innit? And, you know, so it's... but that's what I'm in it for. I like the pressure, I like the big fights, I like the worrying.
Do want to just come on to a couple other things, but first of all, I do want to just talk about the gym we've got here in Hartlepool. How long have you had it? And as you're telling me off camera, it was a former garage?
Yeah, this was a garage, and the gym we start with originally, I trained a couple of fighters, Kevin Bennett and Michael Hunter and Ian Cooper, and I keep a few horses, so we were training in an amateur gym and they kicked us out, so we just moved into a stable, and I extended it and put a ring in, and we were in there for 5, 6, 7 years, and then we moved into here, and we were in here for a while, and the lads didn't like it, so we moved back into the stable, and then but I got myself a trotting horse, so the trotting horse went in the stable, and we had to stop in here, so, and we've been in ever since.
And obviously it's very secluded, away from sort of distractions from Newcastle. I mean, how important do you think that is for if you've got sort of big fights coming up? How much of an impact has that played? Yeah,
well, I think, you know, boxing's a selfish sport. You've got to lock yourself away in some senses, you know, and I just think we have the right balance here, you know, like nobody's bored, and yet, you know, we're not really bothered with outside influences, so it works well.
Do you want to just come on to the big fight coming up in February, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury? How do you see that second fight playing out? Tyson Fury insists he'll knock Wilder out in 2 rounds. How do you see that fight going?
Well, Tyson Fury's king of the mind games, you know, as in every fight he has a little bit, you know, trickery up his sleeve with the build-ups and that. I see Tyson Fury outboxing him for 12 rounds, me, as, you know, he knows how hard Wilder can hit, you know, and it's like most heavyweights, I know Wilder's a big puncher, but most heavyweights would knock you out if you're on the chin, you know, so it's, the secret is, if it was all just down to power, the hardest punchers would rule the world in every division, you know, so I see Fury outboxing him, me, for 12.
Do you want to ask, what is sort of your pound-for-pound top 3 in the world at the moment?
I think I'm a big fan of boxers, me. So Lemachenko, I think Earl Spence, and I'd give Tyson Fury a mention, me, because I think in the heavyweights, he's the only heavyweight out there who really, really wants to mix with the best, you know. So I know Wilder took Fury the first time, but like watching Fury's first couple of warm-up fights, why wouldn't he take him? And he raised his game for that fight, and he can't get out of the second fight in my eyes. So I think Fury will clean up.
I mean, a lot of people, just going back onto that Fury Wilder, a lot of people are saying that Fury, they expect him to outbox him. However, do you expect, obviously we saw Tyson get a very bad deep cut in the last fight against Otto Wallen. Do you expect that to play any part, or do you believe that won't come back in a sense to haunt him?
No, I don't think it will, me. You know, just it's like over the years I've seen lads, my own fighters have bad cuts, and then, you know, once they're healed up, he's had long enough for it to heal up, you know. Just if it was tender, it'll come open in sparring, you know, just so once they're healed, aren't they?
Final question, what is your motivation? Obviously you've got 2 guys here on the verge of close to world title shots, but is there anything other than that motivates you perhaps?
No, not really. I've always been somebody, ever since I was a little boy, always, I like to win. I like to win, you know, just it's like, and most things I've chosen in my life, I've ended up all right at, you know, and you know, I'll never be satisfied. It's like if I won one world title, I want to win two. If I won two, I'd want to win three, you know, and I'd want a two-weight world champion or a three-weight. I never settle, you know. I just want more of everything, you know, just more money, more women, everything.
I think we'll leave it on that. Neil Fannan, thanks very much for giving us your time down the gym today, and look forward to all this fight news coming up.
Thanks very much for coming.